So this was the plate that was on it when we bought it. We're going to keep this one for a while.
Hi, and welcome to Yeti at Large. This is a channel focused on making the most out of what you have, no matter where you're at. Thanks for tuning in and helping out.
We finally got our title and our plates for this vehicle transferred to Arizona. Anyone that's done business with California DMV, you should know patience is the prescription for dealing with them. Previous owner of this vehicle was super diligent to pursue getting the title, and yes, we purchased this without a clear title in hand, knowing that we had a notarized bill of sale and that the previous owner's rock solid guy who was just as interested in seeing this through. The whole hiccup was that California gave him the wrong plate. This plate doesn't even exist in their system. Go figure. That being said, we've got the new plate. We may or may not use this frame because in the state of Arizona, if any part of the word Arizona is covered, that could be a grounds to stop, make a traffic stop in a vehicle. So California, that's out of here. Really love the deer hunter plate that was under the California plate. This may still have a home, so we'll hang on to this lovingly. And this frame, probably not going to use it, even though it's a good idea. We'll see where it goes. It clashes with the antique Arizona historical plate that we got. Now, one of the issues we were dealing with is that the license plate frame wasn't level and it was sitting a little off. So fortunately, there was enough room with these 3 screws to adjust this once we took the light cover off. This light cover, to me, seems like a brilliant place for water intrusion, but there's no evidence of water damage. There's a whole bunch of really hard sealant up here that had dried over time, making it very difficult to get this a good watertight seal on here. So you can see I've scraped away the sealant and it's tore up the paint. Rosie's going to get a full paint job in a little bit, so that's not the end of the world. I have packed this cavity with a little bit of rope insulation designed for windows just to get some fill in there. I used just the carefulest application of a putty knife to get the old sealant off of there. And then I noticed that the screw holes were convex. They were sticking out, holding the fixture away from the side of the trailer. So by taking a old plumb bob, nice and heavy, and just giving her a little snug, no hammer, not wrenching on it, turned them from convex to concave, so they should fit pretty tight. So as we've stated in previous videos, we're going to improve the screws. And yeah, these got painted, so they'll show silver for a bit, but these are the small galvanized screws that we are going to replace with stainless steel. They're 1/8 of an inch longer, they're a little bit thicker in diameter, and they're stainless steel, so we shouldn't have corrosion as an issue, which I'm hoping will help grab this aluminum a little bit better and hold that fixture in there. Now we have a couple of options for addressing the seal on this, and I had considered this foam 2-sided 3M tape in an effort to get a good water seal on there, but I don't think this is the right application because I would need some of it to expose out slightly, and I don't think it would grab as well as I'm hoping. So that's out. So we're going to go back to our weather seal caulking cord that we've used in the other windows. I'll pack a little bit of this inside this lip on this fixture, roll the wire up in there, and reinstall it, and I bet we'll get good seal with this face that's inside that, and any extra can get cleaned up gently with the putty knife. Now, not the prettiest application, but it's fully inside that rim, so it should seat really well, and I got enough down here to deal with any road spray might be coming up. Let's see how we did. And again, no need for power drivers on everything. I might put just a little dab of clear sealant in there to help out, knowing that I'll have to remove it for the paint job. One thing Arizona does correct is they issue historical plates made out of copper. Pretty darn cool. I believe it's a laminated product, so there's not really a ton of copper in here, so not worth stealing. But very cool, very attractive historical plate. Anytime I put on a license plate, I always use these nylon impregnated nuts so that it won't rattle off of there. And I always use a wrench and a screwdriver to make sure they're on nice and tight. Can't tell you when I was on patrol how many people I'd pull over and help them out because their plate was dangling by one screw or they had lost it altogether.
While I was working on this, I was reminded of the meme that says, "I'm not scared of you, I held the flashlight for my father." One of my favorite things about projects for us around the house is it's a family affair, and we have a good time doing it with low stress. If it gets to be stressful, we just take a break. That's the beauty. So there we are, it's all done. We love the way the historic plate matches the Matador red paint job. We plan on carrying that through in the future. We took a little bit of a risk in purchasing this only with a notarized bill of sale. The court would respect that, but DMV wouldn't care. We had faith the previous owner was a solid guy, and he saw it through and prevented us from having to do what's known as a bonded title. Those can be a pain in the butt, but it's also an option if you need. Antique trailers can be very tricky because the VIN numbers are usually not 17 digits, and there's sometimes very little information available. So having VIN inspections done, abandoned salvage titles, bonded titles, those are a reality in the vintage trailer community. You can see that Scotty over in the horse shelter, we're having that struggle now. It was abandoned on our property, and we're working on getting a title on it. It's just a slow and laborious process. Thank you so much for joining us at Yeti at Large today. While this is a pretty small mechanical step, this was a huge leap for us and a great moment. We really do love our little Shasta.